cold calling is good, it's cool, but what really works for me is referrals. And referrals came from networking, right? So networking with people, having a rapport, and then just them actually giving you just business, just because you have a relationship with them. And then also Google helps a great deal. So those are my main ways, more so than cold calling. If you kind of get a mentor or somebody that you kind of are up under, you just follow and watch them and see how they handle things. And there's two things can happen. You can either learn the things from them on what to do, or you can learn what not to do.
What is Clean Success Academy and who is that for?
I don't know if you know how much of an effect you had on me, but you helped me, and I wanted to kind of, pay it forward and help other people out. So I created a mentorship program. I want to get people out of that mindset. I mean, if that's your thing, it's cool, but it's better to be the person that holds the account as opposed to working for somebody else that holds account, because what you're doing is making them rich. A lot of people kept asking me about virtual assistants. I'm like, it's easy. You do this, you do that, you do this, you do that, right? This is how you manage them. This is how you hire them. This is how you make the post. This is where you go. These are the training that you can do. And then I realized I have everything that people keep asking me for right here and right on my computer.
You started researching and building these different software automations within the CVN CRM. And I was like, you know what? After seeing what you were able to do with that and take the program to another level, like I said, I had to ask you to help me with hey, come partner with me on that.
Yeah, because I like to have everything kind of work for itself and handle, everything takes care of itself. So most of the automations in the beginning, I created all by myself, just from thought process and learning from YouTube.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful, bro. So you think about it, like almost $250,000 a year doing zero cleaning. Sounds great to me.
Right. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. I can't complain. I wouldn't if I could.
Headed to the top, there ain't none of y'all stopping me. Used to say I never get a ring, Charles Barkley. Now I got a wife, got kids, on property. Bubble-eyed beans that look like that be watching me. Okay, I lied about the beans, but that was hard though. I'm still in that black act, but she starred though. Cause that's all it takes. Don't flash it for. I'm on my grind, not no more fashion show.
What's up, y'all? It's AJ Simmons, the Cleaning Business GOAT, and I'm back with another great interview for you guys. And today's guest is no stranger to the podcast, y'all. So he joined CVN back in 2020 in the midst of this COVID pandemic, and he thrived immediately. And then right after that, not too long after that, he ended up getting to the Cleaning Business Automation program. And then he did so well with that, I decided to ask him to come be a partner with me in the program. And we did that last year, and it's just been going up ever since. So he's back today. He got some new things that he's going to tell us about that he's bringing to the industry that I know will bring some value to you guys. So without further ado, please welcome the owner of Squeaky Clean Commercial Cleaning, Mr. Sherman Andrew Lewis. What's good, Andrew?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I can't complain, brother. I can't complain. So first off, thank you for coming back. And you already know how we do. So we jump straight into it. So if you don't mind sharing about where you are roughly as far as revenue goes with your cleaning company.
With just a cleaning company, I'm a little bit over 200,000 a year.
That's what's up, bro. That's
it's
what's
like
up.
205, something like that, depending on how that month goes. But yeah.
Love it. So we're going to jump into how you built to that point. But first, just a reminder for everybody who may not know, just tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, all of the good stuff.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Sherman Andrew Lewis. I'm originally from North Carolina, but I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. Go Ravens. I joined the military, did 21 years, like 6 months in the Air Force. After I got out, or right before I got out, I decided that I needed something to do because I couldn't just sit on the couch and not do anything. I couldn't sit on the couch and get that beer belly and not be able to work out and all that other stuff. So I needed something to kind of keep my mind and my body going. So I decided to start a company. Didn't know what company I was going to start. Started, scouring YouTube and trying to figure out, because I always wanted a business. Ran into AJ. Well, I ran into some other people, but AJ is the one that AJ and Clean Business Network is one that kind of stuck with me because of his realness and his down to earth and just, matter of fact, just get to the point. And I loved it. It stuck with me. I'm that type of guy. That's what I got in the military. So I decided to start a cleaning company. And it took off from there, from COVID to, and I don't want to go into your other questions, but it just took off from there. So I'm happy to be here. It was the best decision I made, retiring. So I'm glad I'm here.
Perfect, perfect, bro. We're glad to have you in the industry. So, what services does your company offer?
So we offer more commercial services. So anything from, office space, daycares. Um, we do also do post-construction cleaning. We do floor care, window cleaning, but a lot of that stuff is subcontracted out. And most of my jobs are subcontracted out, thanks to the automations course. But we do all kinds of stuff, carpet cleaning, anything you can pretty much think of, we do. But like I said, most of my stuff is contracted out, if not all.
Got you. Okay, now what made you decide to go the commercial route versus, going residential or Airbnbs or any of that stuff?
I tried and it's still considered commercial, but I did the apartment move in, move outs, and I was like, okay, this is okay to start off with, but it was tiring. A little bit of money for a high expectation and workload.
Yeah.
I tried doing the residential when COVID started going down and people weren't doing the disinfection cleaning. So I was like, okay, let me pivot and try to get more revenue. Did residential. I absolutely detested it. I didn't like it. I don't like people looking over my shoulder. So I was like, I cannot do this. So my salute to you guys that do residential. I can't do it, won't do it. And people keep asking me, but I will not do it. Commercial is the way to go. You can get your game plan. You can set your team up. You don't have somebody looking over your shoulder. So that's why I decided to go commercial. It's way easier.
Yeah, I agree on that point. I definitely agree. Now, actually, do you remember how you found your first customer? And then the second part would be today, how are you finding your customers?
Okay. Yeah. So my first customer, I actually didn't find it. My fiance and my daughter, well, she'll be my wife next month.
Let's go.
But yeah, they went door to door. We were living in a community, and right across the street was an apartment complex. So when I first started, they were like, well, I was at work. They said, well, we'll go around door to door. They went door to door. They went to this apartment complex. They said, well, we'll try you out. I was at work. They did the cleaning. Tore it up, and they stuck with us. And they were like, yeah, we'll take you. Plus, my price was super cheap. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
it was ridiculously cheap. I should have never did it for that long. but it was a start, and it helped me to build, because every time I got paid, I bought more supplies. Every time we had a job, I take that money and reinvest it back into the business. So that's how I got the first one. Now the way we do it is it's more so. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I was like, cold calling is good, it's cool. But what really works for me is referrals. And referrals came from networking, right? So networking with people, having a rapport, and then just them actually giving you just business, just because you have a relationship with them. And then also Google helps a great deal. So those are my main ways, more so than cold calling.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Fair enough. Okay. Now, on average, how many hours would you say like that you're actually physically putting into the field as a cleaner?
On average,
Yeah, like per week.
an hour.
Okay.
I know all my stuff is tasked out, man. Thanks to the automations, all of my stuff is tasked out. So I did work a job on this past Sunday, but he's only like once a month or every other month, and that took maybe an hour and 20 minutes, and that's just a barbershop lounge type thing. I just did it, but other than that, I don't know if this boring, but I don't have to clean that much.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful, bro. So you think about it, like almost $250,000 a year doing zero cleaning. Sounds great to me.
Right. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. I can't complain. I wouldn't if I could.
Right, exactly. Now, are you using subcontractors? But you kind of touched on it a bit, but are you using subcontractors 100%, or you got any employees as well?
No, I have 4 employees. Well, 3 and a possible. So mainly 3 employees. The other ones are all subcontractors.
Gotcha. Okay, now why did you go the route of subcontractors mostly versus employees?
I started off with employees, and that's when I first started, back when I got the apartment complex. I also got a dealership in a neighboring town, which is an hour away, right? Mm-hmm. And because I wasn't familiar and automations wasn't a thing for me yet. I wasn't into automations, so I didn't know how to do the subcontractor route. I had them as employees. Plus, I needed more control for the dealership that's in another location. If it was here in my same city, I probably would go to subcontractor route, but because it's in another city, I need more control. So I need them to be there at a certain time. I need to make sure they have supplies, and need to make sure they're doing things a certain way. So that's why I stuck with the employees for that one. I have an employee for an account here, but she's going to be leaving soon before the summer is over, and then I'm going to switch that over to a subcontractor. So then I'll only have 2 employees, and the rest will be subcontractors.
That's what's up, bro. Now, as you said that, I'm thinking, because this wasn't on my questions, what I'm about to ask you, but it just popped in my head. So I'm thinking about, like, okay, you got subcontractors, you got employees, and I know about your military experience. So I wanted to ask you this, like, how much of an impact do you think your military background made on your ability to be a leader today with your company?
It helped and it hurts. And I'll say it helped because because I was an air traffic controller, which requires a lot of multitasking. A lot of people say you can't multitask. If you have to, you can. Like I said, I was an air traffic controller, and I had to do a lot of things all at the same time, and they all had to result in one app, pretty much one outcome where nobody bumps into each other. Because the worst thing in the world is for 2 planes to bump into each other. I promise you. Right? It's the only job that you have to be 100% all the time. Right? You can't go 99% because that means somebody doesn't go home. So that helped me be able to multitask. So I'm able to bring all those people together. But the military, the bad part about being in the military is I was very matter of fact, and things need to get done. I had to bring that back because now you're dealing with people that we consider are civilians, and you can't talk to them that way. You can't, because with military, I can tell them what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, right? And there's no pushback for the most part. With civilians or people that aren't military with a military background, it doesn't work that way. So you have to be a kinder and gentler, type of technique when it comes to that. So that's why I say yes and no. It's good and bad.
That's what's up now, because I got a little bit of military experience myself, and I know with my background, I actually didn't have a chance to get any leadership positions while I was in there, but it did teach me the discipline, that's required to run a company. And so I'm sure you had the leadership as well as the discipline and so on. So what my question would be to you to follow that up is, for those people who haven't been in the military, have no intentions of going, but they need, they want to gain that experience for leadership as they start to grow their company, what advice would you give to somebody to try to, where they can learn some leadership skills to be prepared to run a company?
There are a lot of people out on YouTube that I kind of look at. Off the top of my head, I can't remember names. I'm horrible with names, but there's a lot of leadership podcasts and YouTubes out there, but there are also a lot of books. Cedric Maxwell, I think is that what Cedric Maxwell?
I know exactly who you're talking about.
We used to do that all the time, and I just remember Maxwell. I can't remember
John Maxwell.
There it is.
Yeah,
yep. That's great leadership books.
For sure.
Great leadership books. So those are the things that kind of helped me in addition to my military background. But and just learning. If you kind of get a mentor or somebody that you kind of are up under, you just follow and watch them and see how they handle things. And there's 2 things can happen. You can either learn good things from them on what to do, or you can learn what not to do. Right.
Yeah, that's facts right there. I love that. And I wanted to see what you would say, because that's exactly what I would say too.
Yeah.
Pull up some podcasts and some videos, man.
Yeah,
out there. All right. Now, clearly you got some success in your cleaning company. Things are going well. And so because of that, I see you went on to start Clean Success Academy. So what is Clean Success Academy, and who was that for?
Okay. So Clean Success Academy is something that kind of I won't say forced into, but I had to, because of kind of the demand from a lot of people that wanted me to kind of mentor and kind of guide them. I really didn't want to do it. I was fine just following AJ, but I kind of got pushed into it. So I created a program where I can kind of mentor, smaller companies that are trying to to come up the same way that you did with me, right? Even though I don't know if you know how much of an effect you had on me, but you helped me, and I wanted to kind of, pay it forward and help other people out. So I created a mentorship program to kind of guide them from beginning, not necessarily to end, but guide them from the beginning stages of their cleaning business to kind of help them move in the right direction, to help them kind of get out there and get their own accounts. That's where kind of Clean Success Academy came from.
Got it. Now I gotta follow you up with this question because actually, no, I don't think we talked about that. So actually, you did, because I was asking who was it for, but you basically saying to help people. Like, who is it? I want to make sure that that's clear.
Yeah, it's for those those smaller companies that are just starting, that really don't have, if they're not in CBN, even if they are in CBN, I don't mind helping people out, but it's mainly for people that aren't in CBN that are trying to get a leg up and try to figure out how this game is played and a lot of the things that they need to kind of move forward in reference to building their company. A lot of people are kind of comfortable with just being subcontractors and working for somebody. And, I want to get people out of that mindset. I mean, if that's your thing, it's cool, but it's better to be the person that holds the account as opposed to working for somebody else that holds the account, because what you're doing is making them rich.
Gotcha.
In my opinion.
Right. Now, I got to ask you, this is a follow-up. This is what I was about to get into, because I got the question a million times. A lot of the other coaches I know get the same question, so I got to ask you. So now, since the cleaning business is so great, right? We saying there's this and that. Why go into teaching it or educating it versus just locking in on your cleaning business and just growing it yourself and, not doing the other thing on the side?
Why go into teaching? Because I love talking about it. Yeah. I will talk hours about it. I really do. And I love when I'm done with a conversation or when I'm having a Zoom call with somebody else, like, wow. To me, it's like I think everybody knows it, but everybody doesn't know it. And when you share that information and you see the smile on people's faces and you see, them having some success with what you've shared, and the stuff that I share, I've gotten from AJ. But I of course I do a lot of research on a lot of stuff, but I take what AJ said and then I run with it, so I learn and then I just share the information. Not all the information, because I don't share automation stuff, but that's what I do. And I just love helping people. I'm a helper. My dad was that way. I just love helping people. So that's why I got into it.
Love that. And by the way, I'm glad you threw that in there, because I'm going to go ahead and say it plain. Listen, for all y'all jumping in people's programs, let me look dead at the camera. For all y'all jumping in people's coaching programs and y'all taking the information you learn from them and then trying to resell it, cut it out. You know what I mean? Like, get your own stuff, get creative, all right? Like, come on now. We got to do better than that. But anyway, I'll digress. Now, so you also just launched Clean Success Staffing Solutions as well. So tell us about what that is and then who that's for.
Okay. So Clean Success Staffing Solutions, and that concept came about from once being in the automations, putting into action the things that you've taught us. So I learned about virtual assistants and, how to hire them and all this other stuff. So I actually put it into work. I started doing it and I was like, okay, all right, this isn't hard. And what happened is that a lot of people kept asking me about virtual assistants. I'm like, it's easy. You do this, you do that, you do this, you do that, right? This is how you manage them. This is how you hire them. This is how you make the post. This is where you go. These are the training that you can do. And then I realized I have everything that people keep asking me for right here and right on my computer. So I was like, okay, well, why not no, it didn't even start that way. I had all that information. I was like, I should do it. And I pushed it to a side. Then I had a consultation with somebody and she said she had a virtual assistant. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So where did you get your virtual assistant from? She said, I hired them from a company. I said, oh, so I started digging deeper. And she said, I hired them from a company. I said, so do you pay the virtual assistant or do you pay the company? She said, I pay the company. I'm like, what? You pay the company? Why don't you just hire them yourself? So I went into it and she was telling me how much she pays this virtual assistant company to give them a virtual assistant. So then I said, well, do you still have that virtual assistant? She was like, no. So why? Because the cleaning business is different when it comes to having a virtual assistant. The things that they're required to do, the information that they need to know, the terms and how to make appointments, it's all different than just a regular company that's doing customer service or sales or anything like that. So I was like, okay, well, why don't I just do that myself? So I gave myself a timeline. I said, okay, I'm gonna launch on this date. Because before, what I was doing was, all right, let me perfect it. Let me get it all worked out before I even say anything, before I even launch it. I put it out there. I'm gonna launch on this date. This is what it's gonna be. Yep. Now I gotta perform. So I promise you, it was about 2 straight weeks. I'm like grinding and grinding and grinding, and it launched, and it's doing well. I got a lot of kind of traction, and it's definitely doing great. So this is what it is, and hopefully that I'm answering the questions. This is what it is. So this is a virtual assistant that I've already vetted. I've already done the post and vetted these people where I know exactly how they sound, because one important thing when it comes to hiring a virtual assistant overseas to work on your company, stateside, is accent. How do they sound, right? So when I do these applications and I do these interviews, I'm listening to how they sound, right? I listen to how they sound. I listen to how they interact and they communicate with me, and then that's kind of the start before they even get to the interview. I already know how they sound. So I'm like, I'm picking this one, I'm picking that one, I'm picking this one, right? So then what we do is I train them on everything that they need to know, or that I think they need to know, in order to be a virtual assistant for a cleaning business owner, right? So from the cold calling, and what cold calling, when people say cold calling, it's not the same thing. People think, virtual assistants think cold calling is calling somebody from a list that they receive, because it's a lead magnet that they get. So they already have a list of people. So when you call those people, 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh yeah, I did fill that out. So they're warm leads, because people have actually requested information, not knowing that they've requested it. Because when they put in their email, put in their information, you're going to a lead magnet, right? So they already know somebody's, when they call, they're familiar with it. Right. They call those people, they ask them a list of questions, they send them to a salesperson that does the closing, right? That's not how cleaning business calls go, right? Our cleaning business callers basically have to have sales, right? Because they're selling a walkthrough, they're selling a consultation, they're selling getting into their facility to give them a quote on cleaning their facility. So there's sales in there, right? So you need to train your virtual assistants on how to make those calls, and to be available, or be able to know they're going to give you some pushback. They're going to say, well, this is a perfect scenario. I'm glad you called. We were just about to look for a cleaning company. That's a perfect scenario. You're not going to get that. You're going to get, we already have a cleaning company. We clean in-house. We're not looking, or a hang up. You need to know how to keep that conversation going when they say they already have a cleaning company. Well, have you ever thought about having a backup for that cleaning company in case something happens? Or have you ever considered, having an updated quote on your cleaning services to make sure you're getting value for what you get, right? So we train our people on all of that stuff, and how to put those appointments in your CRM. And I hope I'm not going too far.
Nope.
But how to put those appointments in your CRM, how to do social media. And with the CBN CRM, you can do all of that from one spot. So most of the people that I bring in already have experience on Go High Level. Right. So they can do all of that. They can do proposals if you want them. I personally don't want them doing proposals. I do my own proposals, but they can do follow-ups, right? They can do follow-ups, and they can, like if you have a proposal or a contract that didn't get, picked up by a company, we set it up in our automations. After about 6 months, bing, they get a notification, follow up with this person to see how their cleaning company is going. So we have all kinds of automations going, but my virtual assistants know how to do it. They're not experts, but day one, they can come in and you can get started. You don't have to wait a month to train them.
Right. Now I love that. That's perfect, bro. So where could somebody go to if they wanted to, inquire about your VAs with Clean Success Staffing Solutions, or if they just want to learn more about Clean Success Academy?
Yep. So if they want to go to see about the staffing solutions, they can go to squeakyclean1911.com/VA staffing solutions, right? They go there, they can either book a discovery call with me and we can chat, or they can actually select one of the options. We have a starter option, a growth option, and a pro scale option, and mainly those are determined by how many hours a week you want that person to work. So it's like 2 to 3 hours, which is the starter. Then you have like 6 hours a week, which is the growth, and the pro scale is 10 hours a week. And then you have the option to kind of add more hours to that, right? And then you have we offer you different kind of operating procedures and stuff like that the virtual assistants are going to have, and then you're also going to have to help you with that transition with that. And we send you probably 2 to 3 options of virtual assistants. Right now we have about 15, I think. Well, yeah, 10 that are already certified and about 5 more that are still going through the training process. So we have quite a few virtual assistants available. So you can go there. Or if you want to just go to squeakyclean1911.com, you can see my mentorship or just all of the other products, consultations and all that kind of stuff. I don't really talk about it that much, but it's there if people want it. And the only reason it's there is because people have asked.
Yeah, love that, bro. Now, within our network and Clean Biz Network, you basically become the king of automations, right? And so
Yeah.
I just want to point out, because when I first created the Clean Biz Automation course, before it was even coaching program, it was just a course. And it was basically, I'm showing you lead generation, and I'm showing you subcontracting. And then I had a couple software tools, but we didn't have a CBN CRM yet. So it was just like some things you can do where I tied a few different softwares together, but it was nothing, full-fledged. As time went on, I did get the Clean Biz CRM going, but I didn't have the automations on how to use them. I'm just like, hey, by the way, you got an automations tab over there. You can use it and do all type of stuff with it. But you went a step further and you actually did it, right? So you started researching and building these different software automations within the CBN CRM. And I was like, you know what? After seeing what you were able to do with that and take the program to another level, like I said, I had to ask you to help me with hey, come partner with me on this. So,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what I want to ask you is, how did you get so good with the automations?
Okay. So I got good with in the beginning of the interview, I said I do research, right?
Yep.
So when you put out the automations and the CRM and all that other stuff, I was like, okay, how do I make it work for me? Because I like to have everything kind of work for itself and everything takes care of itself and kind of give me notifications on what to do. Because before all of that, I was writing everything by hand. Every time I had a client, okay, I got to do this. Now I got to do this. Now I got to do this. Oh, darn it, I forgot. I got to go back. I forgot to do this. And it was a nightmare, right? It would take me hours a night just for one client, right? So what I did was I just started going to YouTube. I went to YouTube and I put YouTube on my monitor and I just did it. And I was like, okay, all right. And then I went through the triggers and all the options that are in there. And I was able to figure out, okay, if I do this, then I can do that. All right, boom. So most of the automations in the beginning, I created all by myself, just from thought process and learning from YouTube. And then I went another route and I used AI. Yeah. AI helps me a lot. I wish AI was kind of prominent in the beginning. I probably wouldn't have worked so hard.
Yeah.
But it helps me a lot. I can do everything. I don't want to toot my horn, but I know a lot of crap when it comes to automation. I can do a lot of stuff that's surprising me. But that's how I did it, from YouTube, learning it. And then when AI came, it just made it so much easier, so much quicker to do. So I'm looking at my automations now. I have probably over 100 different kinds of automations for different things. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so basically the answer was pretty much research. You do your own research and you go figure it out. And so with that said, though, I've seen people do this. I've seen people go out, they go high level because they hear me mention, well, Clean Biz Network is built on the back of go high level. Now we got some things that we add that's native and custom, what do you call it? Damn, I can't think of the word, but basically, it's proprietary to us, right? Mm-hmm. And so we got, the biddy calculators and all of that stuff that comes with it. But in addition to the stuff we built here at CBN, is also all of the features that come with Go High Level, and the price is the same. But some people here to Go High Level part, they just go get it on their own. They try to piece it all together. They paying VAs hundreds and hundreds, even thousands sometimes to try to go build something for them, and they just can't get it right. So what would your advice be to those people that keep trying to do that?
My advice is, what is wrong with you? Why? I don't get it.
Right.
Everything is there. So first of all, CBN provides that CRM for you, right? And you're paying basically the same amount, right? Yeah. But in addition to paying that same amount, you have the ability to get into automations, and we give you all of the automations that you need. And then on top of that, if we don't give you the automations, I've had consultations with people that I help them build the automations, right? So you have me and AJ that love doing this stuff, right? I would do it for, I'm not going to do it for free, but I would do it for free, right? I would help you build stuff because it's cool to me and I like being able to help people, but you're wasting so much time. You know, you have the blueprint, you have these resources right in front of you in CBN, in addition to other people that are in CBN. Why go somewhere else when you have it right here? And if you want to just go ahead and give out money, I'm going to give you my Cash App, I'm going to give you my Zelle. Just throw some money at me if you want to get rid of it. But if you want to make your money work for you, why not just use what CBN already has for you? It makes it so much easier.
1,000%, bro. And you know what? I'm glad you touched on that too. Oh, and so what I would say, by the way, is get the automation program. We already put it all in there for you. Clean business automation. All right. Now, but you said something key there, and I want to touch on that. And I'm actually just going to answer this. Nobody asked, but I'm going to answer it anyway. Because you said I would do it for free, but I'm not. Somebody be watching might say, well, why? You got this cleaning business. You're already making money. Why you can't just do it for free? Let me explain why. Because we busy. Right? Like, and when you become, like, as your company grows and as you start to build things of value, guess what? You become more valuable. And therefore, your time is worth more value. So guess what? If you want my time, I'm going to have to charge you for that. If you want my information, I'm going to have to charge you for that. Because guess what? Over time, I created a lot of people who want to do what I'm doing. And it's like, fine. But at least let me get something out of this. All right. So it's like, you got to pay me for this value now. So needless to say, I just want to make sure I pointed that out. So why still charge if we already successful, already doing this? Because our time is valuable. That's why. And so, and you know it's valuable because guess what? You want it. And so since you want it and you know it's of value, be willing to pay. All right. It's as simple as that. But I wanted to add that in there. I'm glad you said it. Yep. All right. Now, you are an official speaker at this year's CBN conference coming up July 23rd through 25th. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets, y'all. CBNconference.com. And so I just want to ask you, like, what can people expect from you on the stage this year at the CBN conference?
I've been thinking about that, for a while, trying to figure out what am I going to talk about. I don't really know. I know it's going to have to do with automations. It's going to have to do with virtual assistants because that's what I know, just in my sleep. I know it in my sleep. I know how to do it. And that's thanks to AJ and automations. But at this point, how I'm going to kind of lay it out, I don't know. I really don't. But just know that here's the main thing about the CBN conference. It's not about the speakers to me, right?
Me too.
It's about the people in the audience because the networking and the knowledge and the kind of the relationships that you build with the people that are there is what's way more valuable than the people that are speaking.
Yep.
So I'm just honored to be there to be able to fill some space, but the value is in the audience. The value is in the relationships. The value is in the people that are there that you can actually build a relationship with, talk with, bounce ideas. I learned so much just with sitting down and talking to people more so than anybody that spoke.
Facts.
Yep.
Now, I think that was a great point right there. Last year, there was a guy, Carolyn bought with her. Shout out to Carolyn. And I think he said he sold a company for either 500 million or something like that, but it was some crazy number. And I'm like, man, see, that's the type of stuff I'm trying to do. And so it's like, but that's why I was glad I was in the room. You know what I mean? And a lot of heavy hitters were out on everybody that's doing something ain't on stage. So like you said, just get in that room. You never know who you're going to come across. And that's just one of many examples of that. All right. Now, we're going to do it. We're going to switch it up a bit. I'm going to jump into this lightning round real quick. I'm just gonna say a word or a phrase, and you just tell me the first thing that comes to mind. All right, you ready?
Mhm.
All right, cool. First word will be Maryland.
Maryland. My foundation.
Okay.
That's where I
Okay.
was born. I mean, not born, but that's where I got a lot of my ideas. Yeah, but my foundation.
Okay. Next one will be South Carolina.
South Carolina, home, peace.
Okay. Like that.
Yes.
Okay. Next one, entrepreneurship.
I think entrepreneurship is grind.
Yeah. Okay. The cleaning industry.
Is this a one word?
It doesn't have to be.
It's gold mine.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's a secret gold mine.
I agree. And it's starting to become less and less of a secret.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Pop up all of a sudden, like,
Yeah,
but it's
true.
good though. All right, now next one I got for you, Clean Biz Network.
Hands down the best.
I appreciate
Hands
it.
down the best. I wouldn't be here without it.
Thank you. All right, next one, social media.
Distractions.
Right, like use it, don't let it use you.
Yeah.
All right, which social media platform would you say you spend the most time on for leisure?
YouTube.
Okay. Everybody said,
YouTube.
a lot of people say that. That's good. All right. Next one, something you splurged on from since you started your cleaning company.
That I splurged on since starting. I don't know if it was. I'm trying to think if what I splurged on actually was a result of my clean. No, it wasn't, because I bought a house, but that wasn't from the cleaning. My truck.
Okay.
I have a Dodge Ram that I love.
Yeah. Okay.
And then cigars and bourbon, but that's
fair enough. Something you look forward to splurging on as your company continues to grow.
Taking a vacation out of the country every 3 months.
Nice. Love that. Which you'll definitely be able to do it easily with all those automations, right?
Yeah.
All right. Next one, fitness.
I just left the gym.
I know you always, every time I call you in the morning, it's like I'm on my way for this. So I already know it. So what does fitness mean to you?
Yeah, it's you have to do it, right? If you don't take care of your body's gonna take care of you, and not in the way that you think. Right? We all have a certain number of hours in a day, a certain number of seconds in a day. I did this. Every time you snap a finger, that second is gone. You will never get that back. You'll never get it back. So you need to use that time wisely, and taking care of your health, your physical and your mental is so important.
1,000%. The purpose of life.
The purpose of life. If I knew that, I probably wouldn't be here. The purpose of life. I don't know if it's the purpose of life, but I do know that you need to enjoy life. Don't work so hard. Like for instance, I was able to retire at like 47. I was able to retire at 47, right? Most people don't get to retire at 47. They don't retire to like 60, 65, something like that. Then you know, God willing, you only have 10, 13 years to enjoy retirement, right? So you work all these years to enjoy a few years. Enjoy the day. Enjoy each day, right? Because it's not promised. So I'm like, live, love, and laugh.
Yeah, love that. And you know what? You said 40 when I was 47. I know somebody watching right now, like, wait, was? Well, how the hell old is that? Right? So that goes to show the fitness part where you said it makes a difference.
Yeah. I'm 52. I'll be 53 in August.
That's what's up. I love that. Hopefully, I can reach those goals. All right.
You will.
Favorite hobby when you got some free time? I think I know the answer.
Going on my deck, smoking a cigar, drinking bourbon.
I already knew it.
Yep.
All right, next one. Favorite YouTube channel other than mine or yours?
Oh, favorite. Ooh, that's a good one. If it's not, there's so many out there. Yeah. But I would say I love watching. There's this guy, I think somebody spoke about it yesterday on a call. Myron Golden is very, very good. Les Brown. There's another. There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
Les Brown. The newer guy. What's his name? See, I'm horrible with names.
Okay.
But yeah, I watch a lot of motivational stuff unless something kind of distracts me from it. But that's what I'm doing. I watch a lot of motivational and educational stuff. That's how I got good at automations, watching that stuff.
Same. All right. Next one. Best decisions you've made in business so far?
Starting it.
Facts.
Facts. Getting off my butt and starting it.
Okay. And then the last one I switched it up from the old one. I used to do top 5 rappers. But you know what? I'm going to keep it on brand now. And we're going to go top 5 entrepreneurs all time.
Top 5 entrepreneurs. All right. So not in order, right? Okay. So Grant Cardone, I love. The guy from FUBU.
Oh, Damon John.
Yeah, he's on. I watch Shark Tank a lot.
Yep.
All right, I love watching that. One day, maybe I'll be on there.
Right.
All right, so entrepreneur-wise, definitely AJ Simmons.
Appreciate that.
I've learned a lot from AJ.
That guy doesn't get mentioned much on here when I ask that. I appreciate that.
I don't see why. People don't understand the value and how many resources that are in CBN that were created by you. They really don't get it. So that's what bothers me a lot. It's like, man, it's right there for you to take. All you got to do is take action.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. I think those are my top 3. There are others out there, but I wouldn't say that they're top. I just take a lot of information from what other people do. Yeah. I know one guy that's very fascinating to me. He was at not the last CBN conference, but the one before that, the black gentleman, Jason Lee.
Yeah.
I talked to him for a long time, and the information that I got from him is amazing. And I'll say another guy, not necessarily top, but he kind of he made an impression on me, and Ricky.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I like the stuff that Ricky does. He's very impressionable. He talks to you. He doesn't talk to you like he's here.
Yep.
Right. He doesn't talk to you like he's here. And I just see a lot of the things that he does. I'm like, man, that's awesome. But not like I said, not in any order. I just take a lot of things from different people.
Yeah, hey, that's a solid 5 right there, regardless. Yeah. Shout out. And I'm going to say his last name just so people just clear who might not know. Ricky Regalato, and his channel is, I think, Cleaning and Cocktails podcast. Mm-hmm. So check him out for sure. All right, bro. So that's the end of the lightning round. I appreciate that. So now we're going to jump back into a few more questions, and then we'll wrap it up. All right. So I asked you during the lightning round the best decision you made in business, but now I want to switch it and say, what has been the hardest part about being in business for you?
I think the hardest part about being in business is I think there are like 2 or 3 things. One is, or kind of was, not really is anymore, hiring good people and keeping them, right? That's hard because I wasn't sure how to do that. Now that I got automations, I'm better at it with kind of, weeding out the people that aren't good. And that's from experience and just kind of dealing with people and seeing how they interact and knowing that's not a good trait. This is not a good trait. That's a good trait, right? The other thing, what was the question again? It was about
hardest part about being in business.
Hard. I think SOPs, and that was hard. It was only hard because I was stubborn and I didn't do it in the beginning, like you told me. So I made a video the other day. No, it was yesterday. And I said, I listened to almost everything AJ said. That was the one thing I didn't listen to, was creating those SOPs, those procedures that would make everything so easy, because all you have to do is take those procedures and give them to somebody else and they can recreate whatever it is that you want to get done. It makes things so much easier. So if you take the time to do it once, you can fine tune it as it goes on, but you do it once and it's there. It's historical information that's in there for your business and anybody else can follow. So I think those are the 2 hardest things for me.
Yeah, love that.
But I got it now.
Okay. And hey, look, I was going to say, because Don't feel too bad because sometimes AJ don't listen to what AJ says. So now I'm having to go back and do those myself, right?
Right.
All right, but now if you had to start all over again, you lost the whole business, but you get to keep the knowledge that you've learned so far. What would you do to get back to where you are as soon as possible?
Start a better cleaning business. I would be ridiculous if I started over. I thought about doing it too, just starting over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really did, like recently. But yeah, I would do another cleaning business because I know everything that I need to know to get me to this point. You know, I just didn't have the right discipline and the right kind of structure because I didn't listen to everything that AJ said. That, you know, it's hard to kind of, you're always reaching back trying to fix stuff that you should have done back then, right? But if I start off doing that stuff right away, I would take off.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So yeah, definitely cleaning business.
But now, if somebody's watching this video or they're listening to the podcast and they're thinking about starting a company, but they're just scared to make that jump, what advice would you give that person right now? Okay.
That advice would be, there's an old YouTube for this guy. It's called From Everest College. He said, you're sitting on the couch, you're looking at this video or you're looking at this TV, you're not doing anything. Get off your butt and just do it. It's never going to happen. And it's never going to happen if you don't put forth the effort. So get up, take that first step in the process of starting your own cleaning business. You have the resources. You have everything that you need. All you have to do is take advantage of the time that you have right now and just get to it. So Nike said, just do it. Get up and do it. What are you waiting for? You're going to regret it if you don't. I promise you.
1,000%, bro. I appreciate that, y'all. Mr. Sherman Andrew Lewis. Appreciate you coming on, Andrew. So how can we follow your journey going forward? Remind us how we can follow your journey, your YouTube, all the good stuff.
Okay. So yeah. So my journey, you can go to my website, squeakyclean1911.com. You can go on there and see me, or you can follow me on YouTube at Clean Success Academy or Squeaky Clean LLC, or my name, Sherman Andrew Lewis Jr. All those are YouTube. And I have other YouTubes, but those are the three that I actually work on. And same thing for Facebook and Instagram. But I appreciate you guys just considering following me or subscribing to me, and I appreciate all the love that you guys have given me.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. What's up, y'all? It's AJ Simmons, and it's time again, y'all. We're doing the Clean Biz Network Conference again this July 23rd through the 25th, 2025. Get your tickets at cbnconference.com. But before you do that, let me tell you why you should do it. Y'all already know how we gonna do it, y'all. We got so many guest speakers for y'all. Top notch as always. I'm talking Carolyn Arellano. I'm talking Andrew Lewis, that is, from the automation program. You know myself as well, I'm definitely gonna be a speaker this year. And I got some surprises for y'all. I'm not gonna give y'all all the speakers ahead of time. You just gotta get in the building, all right? But you already know it's gonna be top notch, and we definitely gonna have some featured guests. You already know Tenacity Clean, Tenacity Academy will be in the building. DJ The Boss is scheduled to be here as well. Peter Bolin is definitely scheduled to be here, and he's also a sponsor for this year's event. Shout out to Peter. Mario Kelly will definitely be in the building. You do not want to miss this event, y'all. Make sure you get your tickets. Okay, so now, this area we're in right here, this is where all our vendors and sponsors will be. So if you kind of get a look at these tables here, you see we're gonna have the food trays out. We're gonna have the vendors nonstop. I mean, it's gonna be real. Y'all know how we do it here at CBN, y'all. And then I'm gonna take you into the actual conference area. So if we walk into here, and so this is not even close to what we got going on. You see that wall right there? It opens. And so we're gonna open that wall all the way down to accommodate the 200 cleaning business owners all over the country and beyond the country, because shout out to Canada. Canada always shows up for us, and other countries as well. And so we all gonna come out
It'll be big enough space to accommodate all of us, hundreds of cleaning business owners all in one area, coming together, almost like a family reunion, getting educated and getting celebrated, y'all. And as you can see, plenty of entertainment. Like I said, bring the kids, y'all. We got the pool area. It's Florida, what do you expect? You know what I mean? Like, we gonna be chilling, it's a vibe, y'all. Palm trees, just waiting, you know what I mean? How you chilling in the sun, just the way we do down here in Florida, y'all. Now, if you like me, you know you're gonna wanna get your workout on. So we definitely got the workout center over here. Come on, get your workout in. Just cause we out here, we on vacation a little bit, we business a little bit, but we definitely gotta stay in shape. Health as well, we already know that. So you already know where I'm gonna be. Y'all gonna meet me at the bar. Y'all know I prefer a beer, so if you wanna treat me to a drink, just bring me a little Michelob Ultra or Bud Light, I'll be just fine, all right? But we definitely gonna have the bar for y'all open as well. Come on, pull up and get you a drink and get comfortable. Meet some people, collab, man, get out that house and come network with us. All right, now I'm gonna tell y'all a little story about this little pool table right here. Tenacity Academy team came over here, Miss Johnson, Miss Tamika, they came over here, they played me and Regina. They lost, right? They lost to us in a little game of pool. So if y'all trying to get next on this pool table, make sure y'all come meet us here at the Clean Business Network Conference in 2025, y'all, come on. All right, look, y'all. So I showed you around, let you see what it's gonna be. It's your chance just to pull up, man. Come on out here, chill with us, build with the #1 cleaning business network in the industry, y'all. The Clean Biz Network. Meet us at our annual conference down here in Jacksonville, Florida. It's always sunny. Y'all know the vibes with me. We chilling, but we also gonna learn, we gonna get educated, and we gonna turn up. We gonna celebrate our industry, y'all, because we are the most overworked and most overlooked, y'all. So it's time that you come get celebrated and get the flowers that you deserve, y'all. Meet me down here, Jacksonville, Florida, July 23rd through the 25th. Get your tickets at www.cbnconference.com. We're gonna have a live DJ throughout the entire event. Y'all already know how we do it. The best speakers in the world is gonna be here for the industry, y'all. We got cleaning companies coming from all over the country as well as outside of the country, y'all. This is that one event every year that you do not wanna miss. Don't be the one. Don't be that one this year saying, oh, I should've came. Oh, when's the next one? You never know what's gonna be the next one or not. So come to this one, y'all. Get your tickets. I'm AJ Simmons. I'll talk to y'all later.